tonight again at Reebok Crossfit Firepower on Main Street in Milton for the 5th week of the World CrossFit Games. The Crossfit Open, it's called. We're on our 5th week of competition. We've had one workout per week, and we're going to introduce to you in a second heat number 1. But first, my co-host Mitch, he's going to describe a little bit about the workout this week.
Well, Kim, 12.5, another workout in the wheelhouse of full body movement, high energy, high tempo. This week we have 7 minutes, as many repetitions as possible of thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups.
That's right, and neither of these moves we've seen in the previous 4 weeks, so they're new moves. So we've got lots to talk about.
Completely fresh. The way it works is an ascending order going up in increments of 3. So the athlete will be required to complete 3 thrusters, 3 chest to bar pull-ups. 6, 6, 9, 9, 12, 12, 12, as high as they can get in that 7 minutes.
In 7 minutes. So it's what we would call a ladder workout, and every round the reps increase by 3. Do you go on forever if you can make it to 30 reps of each?
If you can, at 7 minutes.
Okay. We've started heat number 1 over on the floor. Let's introduce our competitors.
Well, in lane number 1, we have Christine Hatfield of CrossFit Mississauga. CrossFit Square One, yeah. Sorry, excuse me, CrossFit Square One. I was talking to Christine earlier tonight, and she's looking to get in the 100 score. The way this workout is scored is it's counted as single repetitions. So by the end of your 3s, you should have 6 points.
That's right. Yeah, total score wins it. She's joined us the last 3 workouts. Awesome competitor, and again, 100 would be a phenomenal score.
She's one of those athletes that really gets off on nerves.
Yes, she does.
If there's no stress involved, she's going to cruise right through it. With a little bit of pressure, with a little bit of gusto riding on the line, her performance is going to increase.
That's true. And behind her, we've got 4 guys. First of all, here, coming up to his bar, tall guy Adam Simpson, just coming up to do his thrusters. He's completed round number 1. And he's going on to his 6 rep counts of thrusters. He cannot move on to his pull-ups until he's completed the 6 thrusters.
This workout is they show you one look and they give you another. 3, 6, 9, relatively easy to get through. Most athletes you'll see here tonight getting through the majority of that in 2 minutes or less. Once you've hit 9, then the workout really begins. 12 thrusters, after having done all that, becomes quite taxing.
That's true. I would agree with that, having done it today. Have you done it yet, Mitch?
I did this morning.
Did I see you do it?
No, you didn't. I did after you left. Okay. I got 91 reps.
Oh, that's an excellent score.
Yeah, I had to run from the pull-up bar to my thruster bar to get that last rep.
Awesome. Good score.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
And behind Adam, on the pull-ups, we've got, in lane number 3, we've got Chris. Chris will be good at this workout. 100-pound thruster for him will get tough, but 7 minutes isn't really long enough to get to where you're having to do 30 in a row, and he's pretty good at the pull-ups.
Chris has a good engine, so a 7-minute workout like that is right up his alley. He's able to go for the duration of the time. He's going to take short breaks, but he's not gonna rest for too long.
Yeah, you'll watch him. He won't rest much in the 7 minutes. Behind him, one of our favorite characters, Alex Wong.
And you can see him already with his hands on his knees.
That's right. So he's struggling for these chest to bars. So let's talk a little bit about the pull-ups this week, how they're a little bit different.
So the pull-up, normally a regular pull-up, your chin has to get over top of the bar for the repetition to count. Arms locked out at the bottom, chin over the bar at the top. With a chest to bar pull-up, the bar has to make contact on the athlete's chest between the clavicle and the bottom of the breast line. Anywhere in there for the repetition to count. If contact is not made, the rep will not count.
That's true. So on a daily basis in here, would you agree that normally we perform the chin over bar pull-up? So going to the chest is an extra 4 inches?
Yes, we do. We go over the chin. The way it works in CrossFit, majority of the time you're just going over the chin. The pull-up, unless it's a strict pull-up, it's not really meant to build strength. It's more of a full body movement that gets the heart rate up. Done for speed. With the chest to bar pull-up, that extra 4 inches requires a little bit more strength, a little more hip speed through the hip, a little extra tug at the top to get your chest to make contact with that bar.
Yes, and for For the ladies, let's say, whose maybe shoulder girdle isn't as big as the guys, this is a huge step up from chin over bar to chest to bar pull-ups.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of women in here who normally, if this was a regular workout, wouldn't faze them, but simply just adding that chest component, it's going to take a lot out of them. You're going to see a lot of 3 reps plus 1 pull-up. They're going to get their 3 reps in the first 15 seconds, spend the rest of the time fighting for that single chest to bar.
It's true. You'll probably see it in the heats coming up. Christine Hatfield in lane number 1 is pretty good at those chest to bar pull-ups. And lastly, let's talk about Mo in the green shirt in lane number 5. He is fighting, just as we were just talking about, for his pull-ups.
Yes.
So I know Mo has pull-ups, but chest to bar just brings it up to that extra level for him.
It's a completely different animal. Anytime you increase in CrossFit, whether it be time, weight, or speed, the pressure comes a little harder, and mentally it's a little more daunting to deal with.
It's true. So for some competitors in this week's workout, getting a score of 4 would be a huge accomplishment. Hitting their chest to bar for 1 pull-up, something they've absolutely never done before.
Well, it would be a PR.
Yes, exactly. And that is really what it's all about.
Absolutely. You're never coming in the gym to obtain the same number you did the day before. You're always trying to beat it, whether it be by 1, 2, you're matching or you're beating. And actually that is going to bring me to my next point, the brilliance of this workout. 12.5 is exactly the same as 11.5. What we saw as the 5th workout last year in this Open series. When it was released on Wednesday night, I'm sure, as in this gym, across the rest of the CrossFit Nation, everybody kind of went, oh, really? Oh, that's it? Why? Why are they being lazy? CrossFit headquarters did such a brilliant job of workouts 12.1 through 12.4 of programming a diverse, very, very tough programs, workouts. But now, with this, we see the same look. But the reason being, CrossFit has grown so much over the past year, we're now going to give you an opportunity to look back at what you did 1 year ago and see if you can beat that.
That's
Brilliant.
Right. Because it isn't about being the same as you were the day before. It is about being better. And it also isn't about walking in the gym and beating the competitor beside you, because you're 2 totally different athletes. Respect is given to, say, our top scorer in this gym so far, 100, to our female Annie Gordon, but respect is also given to a female who gets her first chest to bar pull-up for a score of 4 tonight. And
Absolutely.
One of the beauties of CrossFit. What do we got left? 20 seconds.
20 seconds. So you can see now everyone's getting a little tired. Christine Hatfield working back towards her bar. She's picking it up. She's going for those final thrusters.
So yeah, she's not going to stop.
Every rep makes a difference in this, especially now for Christine to maintain her status in the top 60 to get to regionals. She's going to have to boost 100 here today.
Right, and she didn't stop.
And by the looks on her judge's face, she's done so.
She did pretty good. Yeah, I can't wait. We'll show you the heat number 1 scores a little later. So back to what Mitch was saying a little bit earlier. This year's 5th workout in the Open Series is exactly the same as 2011's 5th workout. And what that is sort of a message. I was reading an article today online. That's what you're supposed to do in CrossFit. Train, test, and retest yourself. So lots of people went on the leaderboard for 2011 thinking, I wonder what I got last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Came
in and blew that score out of the water. One of our athletes, Jason Gervais, not sure if you know this, last year scored 58. Today, this morning, 76.
There you go.
There's no question, irrefutable evidence that he's fitter, faster, stronger, leaner, a better athlete. And that's simply from walking in this gym every day.
Last year, Christine Hatfield scored a 91. This year, she was looking for 100. Also in that heat, Alex Wong got a 45. He was looking for anything over 45. You never want to come in and match. You always want to one-up yourself.
That's true. And so bringing us back to that, this workout comprised of thrusters and pull-ups, is one of the most notorious workouts in CrossFit, derived from France. So we'll talk about that a little bit tonight, maybe, how some of our workouts have names. They're called benchmark workouts.
We're going to take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll discuss all that a little bit more.
Beat number 2. Baker, behind him Levi, behind him Ryan Wildfang, Brandon Smith behind Ryan, and Steph bringing up the rear there in the orange shirt in lane number 5. Just going back to what we were mentioning earlier, thrusters and pull-ups comes from one of our benchmark workouts that we named.
Fran.
Yes, called Fran. It is a wicked combination of movements, these two movements.
Hideous.
And if you've ever tried CrossFit, heard of CrossFit, you've probably in that first conversation talked about a workout called Fran. So many of them have names. You might have heard of Fight Gone Bad, Karen, Diane, Nasty Girls, Filthy 50. So these are the two movements that are in Fran. Maybe you can enlighten us a little bit, Mitch, on just the movement itself of the thruster.
Well, we've already broken down the chest to bar pull-up. Now we got to talk about the thruster. This is however you split this gym, however you split a CrossFit athlete, they're going to be worried about one or two of these movements, either the pull-up or the thruster. The thruster is difficult, A, because it's an up and down movement, B, because it's a full body movement, and C, because it's usually light enough that you cannot go slow. So what it is a front squat, which means the bar is racked on the top of the shoulders in the front. You must then proceed to squat where the crease of your hip passes below the crease of your knee, driving out of the bottom, pushing the bar up over top of your head till your arms are locked out.
That's right. So we're watching our athletes in the middle there, Ryan Wildfang and Levi, doing their thrusters. You'll notice the movement, although it looks like they're pushing the bar above with their shoulders, if you watch their hips, it all comes from their hips. So they are effectively jumping into their heels to create momentum and elevation on that bar.
Just like we saw last week with the wall ball, it is the exact same movement, only this time you are not letting go of the bar. You're holding on to it. It's the same motion though with your body. You're squatting, the hip is moving east to west, not north to south. You're coming down and you're pushing it back like a slingshot. You're loading it up and letting it drive forward. It really is exactly what it sounds like, a thruster. You are thrusting that bar up off of your shoulders and punching to lock it out.
That's right, and I always say to people when I teach them the thruster, in fact we teach newbies the thruster in the very first class because it is a squatting movement, but I always introduce it by saying we love it, we hate it. It's kind of a notorious move. Sometimes after a thruster workout, 3 hours later you can be sitting on your couch watching TV and you can still feel stuff going on.
Absolutely.
It's a metabolism booster. That's what I call it.
It's a little bit difficult about the movement is the fact that you have to keep the heels weighted. When you're squatting and pushing at this speed, it's really easy as the bar drops to descend straight down rather than kicking that hip back. If you don't kick the hip back, you're coming down onto your toes, you're going to be driving off of the balls of your feet. That means no power, that means too much pressure on the knee, that means you're chasing the bar up. So you might see a few of these athletes here tonight taking little stutter steps to be able to get their head through underneath that bar.
That's right. So the finish position is pushing your head through on that bar. We're looking at Steph or at the end there. We would encourage her, of course, to, as Mitch said, is keep that bar racked on her chest, because to squat with that bar out 4 inches in front of you would feel twice as heavy than to rack it right on your shoulders. So keep the weight close. These athletes are trying to do as they squat. Ryan Wildfang about to start his thrusters. Ryan
Wildfang, very interesting story this year. Relatively new to the gym, but as we mentioned before in the previous weeks, he's a competitor, a former OHLer. He has that drive. His progression has been extremely quick. For instance, 11.5. This day last year, he did this workout. He scored a total of 49 reps. This year, he will not be happy unless he scores close to the hundreds.
So he is looking to double his score in 1 year on the same workout. Now I can say what I think that means for Ryan is that when he first showed up, he was, yeah, exactly, maybe a past athlete, young guy, social guy, maybe likes the odd beer or two.
Enjoys himself.
Okay, and let himself go a little bit. I have to say, I saw him work out years ago with his mom at another gym, and I remember thinking, wow, those two are athletes, him and his mom sharing. And then when I was introduced to him when he walked into the gym about a year ago, I barely recognized him. Sorry, Ryan, but I didn't.
No, it's true though, but that's just it, and it's not an uncommon story.
No,
but you'll
very
look at the winner, or that guy from The Biggest Loser this year.
That's right. So the winner of season 12.
Was he the winner?
He won season 12.
Okay.
Biggest Loser. His name was John Rode, if you remember and watched. They just showed him. He is addicted to CrossFit, and he just took his CrossFit certification to be able to teach others how to CrossFit.
That's powerful. That's a powerful story.
You know what? He had tears in his eyes when they were interviewing him. He is so happy to have found it. He said, you know, I did all I could on the ranch at The Biggest Loser, but nothing could keep me where I am today other than CrossFit. And he said it's the most welcomed he had ever felt inside the walls of a gym or a training facility.
That's great.
Which is also not an uncommon thing to hear around here. The most welcoming place in town, which leads me to my next story, which is so proud to announce that George and Andrea at Reebok Crossfit Firepower have been nominated for Business of the Year in Milton. So some really intelligent person nominated them. Bang on the money for Business of the Year.
That was me.
Was it you?
I nominated. No, it wasn't. It was.
And so there's a big gala they're going to. Whether they win it or not, they are definitely, in my mind, Business of the Year. There is no other business making a difference in Miltonians' lives like this one.
You can see it on people's faces when they come in, when they leave. One thing I like is every week, somebody, a little bit more of an individual's family comes to watch.
You're right. There are so many members in the crowd here of people's families, wives, children, grandparents, coming to cheer them on. And I know what they're all thinking. I don't know if I can do that.
That's right. We are.
I know that they can.
Proof is in the pudding. We have under a minute left. You can see the tension on their faces. Greg Baker's pushing to get one more rep. He's down to single movements with that thruster. He's going to grab that bar. He's going to pick it right back up and do it again. Ryan Wildfang gritting his teeth. He knows what's at stake. As we broke down the team competition last week, his team, 110 people riding on this one workout. No pressure, Ryan. Keep moving.
It's true. The scores for team number 2 need to be big tonight so that we can send 2 teams to the regional in May.
15 seconds.
So Levi over on the pull-ups. Coach Andrea judging. He's got to stay on that bar. I know he can.
He's going at once. He knows he's got one more in him.
Oh, great effort.
And there it is. Good job. Ryan Wildfang finishes up. We'll have a look at the Heat 2 scores right after this.
Heat number 2 cleaned up, and the athletes for heat number 3 are just about to start. Who do we have, Mitch?
Lane 1, we have Miss Karen Ford,
yes.
Mother of 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Karen, pretty good with both these movements. She'll be looking to get through her 9s, I would say. Behind her, we have Ashley Mule. Ashley, longtime competitor, takes this pretty seriously, but again, just we're looking to get through those 9, up to 12 perhaps, I would say. Who's behind him?
Jason Cook.
Cool.
So we have Jason Cook in lane number 3.
Yes.
With Dan Rogers as his judge.
Can I say something about Jason Cook?
You can.
So there's a workout in CrossFit called Death by Meters. Death by 10 meters. It's 10 meters. You must run back and forth, one length. You're adding a length every minute. So it starts 10 meters, minute 1, 20 meters, minute 2, 30, minute 3, so on and so forth. I did this with Jason last night, and he got to minute 10 with walking. He walked till minute 10.
Oh, he gamed it.
He gamed it. Yeah. He gamed it. He and Ryan.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah, I was very proud of them. I always like people who push the envelope, buck the system a little bit, try something new, and they did that. It was very, very, very good.
Death by 10 meters is a fabulous workout. If you're at home, look it up. You can do it at any track. Grab 2 pylons, you're good to go. Lots of turning, lots of change in sort of speed and direction that really gets you right in the butt.
Jason's someone whose flexibility has come a long way in a very short amount of time. At this weight, it will be a little bit difficult for him, but he can definitely do this.
You're right. The weight will get to Jason. As long as his judge can keep his form top notch for him, dealing with what flexibility he does have. He can last a little longer. Behind Jason, we've got on the thrusters Matthew in lane number 4, just finishing the thrusters and heading over to the pull-up bar. Matthew was in earlier today to watch another heat perform the WOD, and he was trying to get any pointers that he could.
Always a gamesman.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also completed this last year, so he's trying to beat his score from last year. And behind him, who do we
George Shembry, my favorite. Last year I had the privilege of coaching him through this workout. I talked to him beforehand. He said he got 53 reps. And he said, I don't know how I got 53 reps last year. So I said, what do you want this year? He's like, 53. So 53, I think he'll get more than 53. I remember last year having to, in that final minute, he was doubled over. I had to pick him up and put his hands on the bar, push his butt down to get in the squat position and make him get up. But he kept breathing like a champion.
That's awesome.
And he pulled that weight up and got it done.
Oh, that's excellent. I like that story. Because you know what is true is that we know that as humans, we are capable of enduring so much hardship. Often because of just modern life, we don't have to put ourselves through that on a daily basis. So we never sort of see or test the limits. CrossFit can do that for us every single day. So I love the fact that he was doubled over. You had to put his hands on the bar. He didn't think he could do it, but he did it.
What I love about that also, and it happens so many times, is that you always think, when you're in pain, I can't do anymore. This is it. I'm not going any further than this. But then something happens where you just get that one more rep. And it's only one rep, but that one rep, when you leave the gym, makes a world of difference.
Huge difference. I could not agree more. I really think, you were saying George got 53. I wanted to mention, he is far more fit, fast, lean, strong than he was last year. He's going to crush that number, I think. And behind George, in the last lane there, we've got Turtle, who we've seen before.
Member of Reebok CrossFit Firepower Competitive Team 1. She's looking to put up some good numbers here tonight. I spoke to her earlier. Last year, she put up 72 reps. This year, she's going for anything over 72. So, common theme, always something a little bit over.
That's right. And now for her, the women's weight is 65 pounds tonight. The guys are throwing up 100. For Turtle, in lane 5 there on the pull-up bar, 65-pound thruster is not an issue.
Not a problem.
It's the chest to bar that'll get to her. And that's another thing about this workout. If you are extremely proficient at just one of these movements and not very good at all at the other movement, this workout is going to suck really, really bad.
What's going to happen is you're going to overload on one side. You're going to take no time at all on the thrusters. You're going to get to the bar. You're going to be fighting for a single rep. So you're on the bar, one rep down, off, weight.
It's true. So it is almost better in this workout to be okay, pretty proficient at both movements, but not a specialist at either one.
That's right. Like we were discussing last week's workout that had Karen to start 150 wall ball, 90 double unders, and then muscle ups, as many muscle ups as you could do. And was it 12 minutes? In 12 minutes.
Yes.
Just because you can do muscle ups and you can do double unders, it doesn't give you the right to get to them in the workout. If your Karen score, if you can't do 150 wall ball in a good amount of time, you're not getting any further.
Exactly, 100%. We saw that a lot last week. People that could do muscle ups, but Karen killed them. They never even got there.
Exactly.
And can we watch Ashley here on the pull-up bar in lane number 2? I believe she might have just fought tooth and nail to get her first chest to bar pull-up, and she was successful. So this is what we're talking about. We haven't seen this yet tonight. These two ladies in heat number 1 and 2, they're going to be on that bar a lot in these 7 minutes, fighting for every last rep of chest to bar.
But they know they have 7 minutes to complete that. Once you get that the first 3 thrusters out of the way, the rest of the time you can spend. You can see Ashley just kicking, trying to get up.
That's right. That's a great fight. And if you watch the athletes on the bar, usually when we do pull-ups around here, we do an overhand grip. That just allows us to use more of our back, our triceps. Underhand grip is a little bit more bicep. And with CrossFit, we always want to use as many muscles as possible. For the ladies, my underhand. You can kind of muscle up that last few inches. Now, it hasn't worked for everybody, but it has worked for a few of the ladies to get their first one tonight.
Now, normally, as a coach, you would advise against this, simply because it's going to gas out the other movement quicker. You want to prolong, but in a competition setting, if you know that movement is not the strongest for you anyway, you're better to gas out and just get as many reps as you can the wrong way.
That's right. Not the wrong way in the sense of being unsafe.
No.
But just the least efficient way.
There, the least efficient way.
Right, that's right. To hit it. Jason in lane number 3 just finished, I think, his 3rd round of thrusters. So he's doing well with that 100-pound bar. And if we just look at George Shembry, he looks like he's almost in the same position as you were talking about last year.
40 seconds on the clock, and you can see him, those eyes closed. He's gritting his teeth. George Savard right in his face, pushing him along the way. 30 seconds remaining. He knows there's that doubled over position. Not the best to get air in, but certainly the most comfortable.
So you're going to hear the noise in here increase a little bit. And just watch George Shembry in lane number 4. He is literally jumping to throw that bar off his chest up in the air. It doesn't look like it, but he is. It's a huge, huge muscle contraction from a giant joint, our biggest one, called the hip. Coach George wants him to go. One more.
2, 1. There you go. Heat 3 in the can.
That's great. I can't wait to see their scores. I hope some of the ladies are happy with their first chest to bar, and we'll be right back with heat number 4. Welcome back. We're getting set up here for heat number 4. In lane number 1, we have Billy Bean. Lane number 2, Tito Rico. Behind him in the yellow shirt, we've got Mr. Liam. And behind him, we've got, with the striped socks, Justin Myers. And again, in the last lane, the lone female in this heat, Vicky Shembry. So here we go again for heat number 4. More of the same. Mitch, you wanted to talk a little bit about the competition itself and sort of the format of how it runs.
I got a beat.
Okay.
No, I don't. I just wanted. That was a nice lead into the segment. I think programming's been brilliant so far. I wanted to talk about the difference between sectionals and regionals. Right now, we're in the open sectional portion of the CrossFit season. Most of these workouts we've seen have been work capacity driven, basically meaning there's been, the skill set has been relatively at the beginner stage, a lot of movements that are not too advanced. You could have been CrossFitting for a week and you have at least seen these movements.
That's true, like the 7 minutes of burpees.
You might not be able to do all of them, but you've seen them.
That's right.
The time limit with the weight has all, they've not been too long, and with the weights that we've been using, it's all been work capacity driven.
Yes.
After tonight, that ends. If you're in the top 30 teams or in the top 60 as an individual man or woman, when you get to regionals at the International Center in a few months,
May 11th,
when you get there, expect a completely different scene. The open, inclusive atmosphere is now gone.
That's right.
You're looking at short workouts, heavy weight and high skill. For instance, this workout, you could do something similar, but it would be 3, 6, 9 reps for time, not for reps, but for time. How quickly you can get 3, 6, 9 done. The thruster would be 155 pounds for guys, and instead of a chest to bar pull-up, it would be a muscle-up.
That's right, because they are whittling it down, of course, to find the fittest individual on earth.
From that, you're going to take the top 2 teams in Eastern Canada, the top 2 males, and the top 2 females, and send them to California for the CrossFit Games in June. So it's quite an elite list of athletes that are going. This has to be your life at that level. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe this. You have to be in here lifting all year round. And the big thing is, the main difference is that 155-pound thruster and those muscle-ups look no different than to say you or I doing a chest to bar pull-up and a 100-pound thruster.
You're 100% right, and you're right about the commitment. Now, 5 years ago, if you went to the CrossFit Games, the winner of the CrossFit Games could have been your grade 5 teacher, or your local policeman, or some guy who works on Wall Street. Today, the sport has grown so much that we actually have sponsored athletes that dedicate that their full-time job, just as an Olympian would be, is to compete in the CrossFit and eventually, hopefully, to win the CrossFit Games. The sport has grown so much, it's that competitive.
Absolutely. This is how they make their living.
That's true. And I should mention, just in lane number 1 here, we had a late entry of Kristen.
Yes.
Kristen in lane number 1 on the pull-up bars. Again, 65-pound thruster. Kristen can handle that. And because she's not tall, she doesn't carry a lot of weight. She's going to do really well at these pull-ups too.
Her husband's on the competitive team. He's on team 2 this year. Derek McDonald. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him go later in the night. But she's been training with him, and she's got that mentality. She knows what waits for her. She understands the work that needs to be put in to get to that goal. And she likes to do well. That's a winning combination in an atmosphere like this. You put her in a workout as such where the weight is manageable. She knows her body. She knows how to move her body well. This is something she should do reasonably well at.
That's true. So she's just picked up the bar for her first rep, and just see the hips. Again, watch how this whole movement comes from that sort of core area. And all of our movements, we want them to come from the core and radiate to outwards to our arms and legs. She wants to keep her chest high. That's the other thing I'm seeing with Kristen in lane number 1. She doesn't want to round her back on that squat, so you would force her to sort of raise her chest, proud chest to squat, to keep that bar over top of her hips.
Squeezing her shoulder blades together to make sure those elbows stay high and that chest stays open.
That's right, and look at Tito in lane 3, struggling with his thrusters. 100 pounds again. Tito's a strong guy, he can push some weight, but again, it's the combination of those pulls on the bar and the pushes on the thruster bar that really gets to you quick. Jump. Yeah, he can still see his jump. Andrea, our owner, along with her husband George, judging for Tito tonight.
Tito, one of those guys new to the gym. You can tell the form is not that technically sound yet. He's still getting used to the movement, and at this weight, it's a bit heavy for him. But given the mentality of the workout, with about 2 minutes remaining, he's not worried about that. He just wants to get up and down as quickly as possible. He doesn't care if he's coming off the toe. He doesn't care if it's on one foot. As long as he gets that bar locked up over top, all that matters.
That's right. That is what our day-to-day training is for, so that on these competition WODs, you can allow for a little bit of, a drop in your technique with the increase in intensity. We're not going to let anybody injure themselves. We're going to coach them so that they can hit the proper movements. And, and Tito knows himself. If he's feeling that 100-pound bar is now feeling like 150 pounds because his technique is off, he's going to have to put it down and take a breather.
You can see in lane 6, Vicky Shembry, her second go-around tonight at this workout. Not because she wants another kick at the can for the hell of it. She's here because she got the 3 thrusters, but that chest to bar pull-up eludes her. So she's back in. She can do another 3 thrusters at 65 pounds, no problem. That's not an issue. You can see Coach Annie Gordon now telling her hand placement, how to move her hips, trying to get that chest a little higher. She's inching closer. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her go again once more tonight.
You're right, 100%, because she's just doing those 3 thrusters. Yeah, good strategy too. You can attempt this workout as many times you want if you want to hit that one pull-up.
And it's only Friday. The result has to be submitted by Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
That's right.
So she has all the way till then to get that rep.
And we got Liam in lane number 4, still working on those thrusters. What an amazing athlete, somebody who's new to the gym and picks up the philosophy, loves it, and runs with it. And he's reaping the benefits of it. Shirt already off for Liam.
Shirt already off. Well, it's March, and today's a little bit colder, but this weather is unbelievable.
It's true, we've had some amazing weather. It's it, Kristen in lane number 1 on those thrusters, still looking good. Racking it right on the shoulders.
Big push, 5 seconds remaining. Let's see those hips moving. Tito trying to get that last rep. And there it is.
We'll get those scores up for you, and we'll be right back with heat number 5. bit more about that a little later. Behind her,
BJ Malosh.
one of our faves. He's been here a while.
Rockstar BJ.
BJ leads, he's the lead bass guitarist, I think,
Replica.
in a local band.
Local band called Replica.
Many Miltonians have rocked out a night or two at Ned Devine.
I know I have.
I know I have as well. Mitch joins the band sometimes and sings a little Mountain Sun. This is one of my favorite parts of the night.
That's why I do it. For you.
It is. It's a big sing-along. Great band. What I love about BJ is obviously
Everything.
Lives everything and lives close to his passions, right?
Yes.
Family guy.
Yep,
3
family
kids,
man.
Regular dude, holds a job, but awesome rock star at night.
Yes.
Different persona, Jekyll and Hyde.
Absolutely.
Really fun.
Behind him, we got Corey. Corey, I'm sure you recognize him from the weeks prior. He's here. He's putting in a top notch every week. Sleeves off tonight.
That's right.
Skins on.
That's right.
You may notice that you see a lot of guys wearing what appears to be spandex inside the gym. It is, but it's a little more scientific than that. It's a company called Skins, and what they do is they create a pant that is basically meant to increase blood flow to joints that are, and muscles that are seizing. It keeps the lactic acid from building up, and you'll notice a lot of CrossFitters always wearing this. It's not because it's cold, it's because in a workout like this where you're doing a thruster, the acid is starting to build just by squatting. Always abs on, the quads are seizing, the hammies are seizing all the time. You want the blood flowing.
That's right. So they're like, it's almost like it uses the compression technique. And you'll see, well, in our previous heat, Turtle wears them. You can wear them on your arms. One of our Corey's wearing them. Our coach George is wearing them as well. And then again, move back a few lanes, and in the last lane we've got Becca. Who has been on Friday nights before to do her competition WOD, and Annie is her judge. Becca is going to have to fight for this 65-pound thruster. So Annie is going to coach her through it to get it. She's got 7 minutes to get the 3 thrusters, and then she'll be coached through the pull-ups. So Becca was just telling me a story. Her boyfriend lives out
Thruster.
Did she get it?
Yes.
Awesome job, Becca. So she went out to visit him. He's also a CrossFitter. Used to live in Milton, now lives out there. And she went and visited a new CrossFit gym out there who they've only been open about 6 months. Of course, once again, same old thing. She was welcomed with open arms, and she completed last week's competition WOD at their gym because she was there for the week. Threw up on number 56.
Like she does.
56. So again, some of us are pukers, some of us aren't. Talk to another guy about that today. I don't think there's much you can do about it.
No, and to be honest, within this community, it's respected, and I don't want to say encouraged, but you will definitely not be put down for barfing.
That's right, exactly. You don't have to feel bad for tripping, falling, failing, puking, anything like that that you may feel bad about in a regular gym or a regular competitive atmosphere. We want you to push the envelope, and sometimes those things happen.
Last summer, my girlfriend's older brother came to visit the gym, and it was the first time I was meeting him, and I was pretty nervous. He's a big older brother, and he's a CrossFitter too, and I wanted to put on a good show. We were gonna do a workout together, and I wanted to make sure that I did a good job. So I'm warming up, trying to be I do a couple of reps that are really lightweight, trying to be very cool. I complete the reps, and as the weight's coming down, for some reason I let go and I dropped the bar on top of my head. So, and I tried to play it cool. I thought, no, they didn't see. They weren't quite too close. So I'm walking away and I touch my hand to my head to check for blood. And I think, okay, I don't know if this is a good move. I check, I look over, and they're both laughing at me.
Blood?
No, there was no blood. They just saw me check, and they were laughing. So, good start to the day.
That's a great story because Annie, who you were speaking of, right?
Yes.
So Annie is on the competitive team in the gym, and I believe she was the first out of her family to start CrossFitting.
Yes.
I remember when she came in. Since then, Annie's got a bunch of brothers and sisters. I think all of them are.
All of them,
all
whole
of
family.
them are now CrossFitting, including her father.
Yes.
Her uncle.
Yep.
Right, and probably many others. So that is sort of like spread like wildfire type of thing that CrossFit is experiencing right now. Let's go to lane 1. Joyce, our boxing trainer, she is fighting for every last pull-up, and she has a huge cheering section, just cheering her on. Tons of encouragement. but she's going to get back up there and try it. We would never quit. She's got 1 minute and 37 seconds to get one more rep.
Joyce is a fighter. She knows what it takes to get the job done. You can see, obviously, this movement is something a little outside of her comfort zone, but she's going to try for the next minute. You can see she's going to hold as long as she can, and she's going to start kicking and swimming her legs, trying to get a little bit higher.
That's right.
As opposed to we have Corey in lane 3, and you can see him just no problem on that chest to bar. Just going to walk back to the bar, hit a couple more reps.
Quite an athlete. They're trying to keep, it looks like a strength-based move, the pull-up, but you have to keep everything tight. Your core has to be super tight. You even want your butt to be super tight to get up there. She did it. Awesome job, Joyce. There's 1 rep down. She still has 50 seconds to get another one. Corey's going to try and bang out as many thrusters as he can.
You can see now on the way down his hip sinks before it dips. Before it shoots back. It needs to shoot back first for this to be the most efficient. But again, Corey, he's very new to the gym. This is not something that's drilled in to his muscular system yet.
That's right.
His muscle memory, he doesn't have it yet. He doesn't know it. His muscles don't know how to move under this pressure.
But just inherently a great athlete. So he's doing
Exactly.
well on this one.
Absolutely, he's doing a fantastic job.
Back down lane 5, let's watch. She wants 1 more thruster with 12 seconds to go. Heavy clean just for her to pick it up.
Oh.
Almost 5 seconds left, and it's encouraging her to get every last little bit out.
1, and she cleans it up that final time as time runs out.
Heat number 5 concluded. We'll get those scores up for you. We'll be right back with heat number 6. Welcome back. Heat number 6 just about to start. The electricity's building. This is going to be a big heat. We've got Steph in lane number 1. Steph in the black t-shirt there, former boxer, phenomenal athlete. She's doing so well this year in the games.
Absolutely.
Behind her, we've got Justin, another one of our boxing trainers, actually.
Big foray from the boxing side of the gym into the CrossFit side of the gym for sectionals this year.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. Last year, a lot of our boxers didn't cross the line. This year, they're blurring the line, which is awesome.
Wow, in lane 3, my man Rod the Bot.
Rod.
You know what? On the way to the gym tonight, I was talking about how I need a fashion-conscious person in this gym. Somebody who's fashion courage is what it's called. That's what I need. I need CrossFit fashion courage. Someone who's pushing the envelope every week a little bit. Now, I don't want to put Rod in that category, but a few weeks ago we saw him shirts off before the workout started. Not totally uncommon, but this week you can see he's opted for the receiver gloves. This is something you see top-notch CrossFitters doing. Rod, top-notch CrossFitter? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just impressed that he had the gumption to come in here this week wearing the gloves.
Wearing the gloves. Actually, I've wondered about that. I've wondered about going out and buying a pair of receiver gloves just to grip the bar a little bit better. So we'll see what he has to say about that. Rod is another one of our members that has to travel around North America for work. And when he does, I love it. He always goes on our website, which you can go on our website anytime. Tells us his stories of finding different CrossFit gyms around North America and what his experience is like.
Yep.
Always positive. And one thing he mentioned this week, he was in Montreal and he visited 2 CrossFit gyms. And he did mention, maybe you read this, that our gym has great notoriety out there. They knew exactly, when he said, I'm from Firepower, they said, oh, great gym, aren't you lucky to live in Milton to be that close to a fantastic Reebok CrossFit facility. So that's good. So you're lucky to live in Milton. Get your butts in here. We'll get you started right away with CrossFit. Behind Rod, we have Pino Porciello.
The genius.
Oh, that's number 3. Reference number 3 to his intellect. But also, turned himself into a phenomenal athlete here. He's done really well this year. His scores have been, I think, better than he and his wife actually had expected.
Absolutely. It's just the more you do it, the more familiar you get with the movements, the easier it is to do better.
That's right. And we should mention that every week after coming to the workouts, his daughter goes home and they find her in the garage completing the workout of the week on her own with the stopwatch.
Fantastic.
Completely awesome. Can't wait to see the next generation of CrossFitters. Behind Pino, I'm not not sure if we've seen him on Friday nights.
We haven't. This is the first time.
We have Brian Gent.
Brian, a firefighter. Hell of an athlete, hell of a guy. I usually judge him on Fridays. Just seems to always work out that way, but we have a little bit of a friendly competition going there. Well, I wouldn't even say competition. We always just say, oh man, you did a great job. I hope I can get that. So I hope Brian does do better than I did today.
So what was your score?
I got 91 reps, so I finished my 15s, and I got one thruster in the 18th.
And did you mention that Brian's hoping for 100?
Well, no, I just said he should be hoping for 100. I pushed that number on him. He didn't ask for it.
You're right. I've seen you guys do push-up competitions before on the ring. Who won that one?
Oh, I think I took him that time. Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Behind Brian, we've got Karen Cook, and we've seen her before. Her husband competed in the last round.
Jason, we were talking about his flexibility, his increased flexibility.
Jeff, and Karen should be so proud of herself coming into this gym, improving leaps and bounds. Her body looks completely different.
Absolutely.
How can that not transcend into her mind?
What I love about Karen is that last week after we were leaving the gym, she was sitting outside, and I told her, I said, great job tonight, and she shook her head no, and she seemed very down. And I don't want to celebrate the fact that she was down, but she didn't attain the score that she had hoped. And the fact is to see somebody, a mother, a wife, who has a completely different life, who takes her fitness that seriously. Could you imagine going to run on the treadmill and coming off and being upset because you didn't run as well as you had thought or hoped?
It's funny to think about it in that context inside the walls of a regular gym.
Right, because it is. It has become the sport of fitness.
That's right.
Right? All these athletes looking for somebody, I lost my train of thought. All these athletes who formerly had sports, they had outlets to channel that competitive energy. Now, once life takes over, work, kids, all that, you have to find an out. You just want to stay fit. But with this, it's a sport. It is now you can put two in one and obtain both sensations at the same time.
And then if you CrossFit proposes, and it's true, if you want to then go turn around and sign up for a men's hockey league, ladies baseball league, CrossFit will allow you the athleticism to do that and try any sport that you've always wanted to try. But now going back to that, being myself a mother of three, a little bit busy with work, kids and husband and all that, I would love to participate in a women's hockey league. I find I just don't have the time. So this is my method of staying fit, but also my sport. So I kind of get both in the same breath. And just talking about that, about the women inside the walls of a CrossFit gym, really cool for women to be throwing around weight like they are tonight.
Absolutely.
I read an article today on a girl, 16 years old, always struggled with body image. I mean, that's a tough age range to be in nowadays. She stumbled upon CrossFit. She's competing in this year's WOD, and her quote this year was, "I am trading in skinny for strong."
We see that happen so many times in here. Girls come in, I don't want to look this way, I don't want to look that way. Chances are you won't, based on genetics. But at the same time, we always just kind of nod away, because after 3 or 4 months, it starts to become less about the physical result and more about the process. Instead of, I want to weigh this or I want to look this way, it's, I want my thruster to be a little bit heavier. I want my clean to be more technically sound.
That's right.
I want to get a pull-up. Those become the goals.
Performance-based fitness.
Absolutely.
Gets you where you want to be. We're in the last minute.
40 seconds remaining.
And I don't think the excitement is building again every heat after heat. I don't think the creator of CrossFit, Greg Glassman, could have known what would happen to CrossFit when he created it in 1980.
The beautiful thing about an idea is once it starts, you conceive this grand scheme. You put it out in the world, and hopefully people adopt it, they take to it. But once more people get on board of that idea and they take a hold of it, it becomes theirs, and it turns into something that you could have never imagined.
And I believe, especially if it's something of value, and CrossFit, no doubt, has lots and lots of value. Last second to work. Oh, good job, Steph. down after that effort. Great job by heat number 6.
I wonder how they did. Steph, you can see Steph doubled over on her box there. She's a little gassed. That's the gas face right there.
That's right.
A little tired, but she's up. She's walking around. She's okay. It's been a long 5 weeks. We say it goes pretty quickly, and it does while you're in it. But week 4 and 5 as compared to week 1, 2, and 3, you sort of hit a wall. You go, okay, that Wednesday night release to that Sunday entry, it's a long time to be stressed.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, and I've heard it from the athletes this week. Oh my gosh, I don't know how much more of this I can take, gearing up for this WOD to put up your best score you could possibly do.
Well, you can see it. Just look around the gym. There is a barbecue outside, so most of the people are outside right now. But the energy is just a little bit lower. Everybody knows that they're going to get what they can get. Where week 1 we start off with, I want to blow this thing off the roof.
That's right.
I want to get as high as possible. Whereas week 5, I don't want to say the delusion is left, but there's you know what? Okay, I've done what I can do, and I'm going to do what I can do.
Yeah, it's true. And that's really what it's all about. And we're all better for it. Here, you have joined us, if you have, for the past 5 weeks. If you're intrigued at all, but still at home, like many of us were before we were CrossFitters, saying, that looks great, but I don't think I could do that. This is for the 2nd week in a row. The first 5 people that call me at 905-462-4977, I'm going to give them $25 off their intro month package. If they say, you know what, I don't think I could do it, but I'll give you myself for a 1 month. Many of us in here have noticed huge benefits to our fitness after just 1 month of CrossFit.
And if you're worried about, hey, I don't know anybody, I'm not the most social person in the world, Firepower is hosting a poker night coming up. If you check the website or just give the gym a call to inquire about details, we're selling tickets right now. Come on in, play a little game of poker, meet some people, get yourself accustomed to the atmosphere in here.
That's right, and if you're really pumped about the physical aspects of the things that we do in here, we got 2 things going on in here as far as programs. One is boxing, and you can come in anytime and try your first boxing class absolutely for free. Bring a friend, age 10 and up. Don't sign up, just show up, let us know you're here, and we'll show you how to do the wraps and the gloves, and you're off to the races. The other thing is, if this CrossFit stuff looks pretty neat to you, which I hope it does, we offer free classes all the time, no obligation. Bring your neighbors, bring your kids age 15 and over. No sign up necessary.
Nope.
You can call the gym anytime and ask when the next free trials are at 905-864-9941. The next one is April 4th at 7:30 p.m. And then we're running them weekly in April and May. So free once-a-week CrossFit classes in April or May for beginners.
Yep.
And just show up, no obligation, no sign up. Come on in. We really, as CrossFitters, in our hearts, we really want everyone to adopt this method of training.
Absolutely.
There's an exuberancy you have as a CrossFitter when someone asks about it and they want to hear about it.
Absolutely.
Again, we were talking about the Tim Hortons conversation. Always willing to find somebody who wants to hear a little bit more about it so we can dispel all the myths.
So now that we're done the Open, that's it. So now it's on to regionals. Team, as of tonight, Team Firepower 1 is in 12th place.
That's right.
Team Reebok CrossFit Firepower 2 is in 18th place. So as of right now, both teams will be competing at regionals. A lot of scores have yet to be entered, so hopefully Team 2 has done enough, or will have done enough by the end of tonight, to be able to stay in the running by Sunday.
So we are hoping to field 2 teams in that competition. I think the first Team 1 will get in with the scores they've posted so far, and
yes,
we are hoping that team number 2 can come in 30th place or higher to send them to the Canada Games and then hopefully to California for the World Games, where they will crown the fittest individuals on the planet.
It's going to be a battle, but there's a lot of talented individuals in here who have dedicated the past year to training, to working. They know what's at stake, and they have their eye on the prize.
It's true. Just before we go, Mitch, what's your favorite thing about CrossFit?
I'm trying not to answer this sarcastically right now. Honestly, you know what I like? I like breaking down my own mental barriers. I like leaving the gym knowing that I did something today that I'd never done before. And if that's there's 2 seconds left on the clock, instead of just saying, okay, and that's it, I'm done, and lying down, I'm going to fight for that last rep. I'm going to get one more rep. And I like that feeling of leaving and be like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe a year, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have done that. But now I did. And I'm happy about that. That's what I like.
One. That's a good answer. I like that. I would say for me, it would be it's universability, meaning nobody that walks in these doors cannot do it. Okay?
Yeah.
So you guys at home could be next. I really appreciate you joining us, watching the CrossFit Open, letting us bring it to you on TV.
Absolutely.
Cogeco. I'd like to thank Mitch for sitting in with me for 5 weeks in a row.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. He finally got me to dress up, which is difficult to do. So we'll have those scores posted for you. Follow the teams in the paper, cheer them on, give us a call. We'll be happy to show you what it's all about. So for the 5th week of the CrossFit Open here from Crossfit Firepower, I'm Kim, this is Mitch, and we'll see you again.
Good night.